right, let's talk north then.
Yeah, so from after doing that 11-day tour, on the 11th day,
Mm.
or on a separate trip, either way, you're going to fly to Salvador, and you can't get to Salvador directly. You're going to have to
Ah,
go from Rio or Sao Paulo. So
okay.
if you've done the South tour with us, then you just take it from Rio. If you're not doing the South tour with us, then you're going to just fly from Sao Paulo or Rio to get to Salvador. Um, when you look for flights, you can ask me or you ask Lainey. Don't try looking at it for yourself. You're going to make yourself crazy because a lot of times people just go to Google Flights and they'll put like, Minnesota to like Salvador or something. They're like, what? You're going to have to put a flight to Rio or Sao Paulo. And then separately, you're going to have to look for a flight from one of those two cities to Salvador. So that's something that our company does. So people don't have to think about it. That's
Mhm.
something that you do as well. It's not
Yeah.
common sense to get to Salvador.
No. No. This is why you go to a travel agency who is specializes in air or understands international air. I do this every day, so that's why you come to me or to come to Charlie for that kind of help.
Salvador was the largest port where Africans were taken to.
Mm,
Salvador, that was the big one over there. Um, so I mean, you feel the heritage very strongly in the even the attire,
mm,
even in the food, because those African dishes, they like the stews. In the South,
right.
it's less. The South, it's more that the churrasco, more of the
Hmm.
cut meats and the things on the spits and all that. So in the
Yeah.
North, you're still going to get that in the North, but you're getting now more of the stews and all the spices and all this kind of stuff that
Mm,
came from Africa.
mm,
Um, so you're going to have a lot of good food over there, and that's where they do like the capoeira, the martial arts dances
uh,
where they have this martial arts and they kind of turned into a dance. Um, so you're going to see that over there. Most likely, you'll see that over there. People are practicing in the parks and on the streets and
mm,
stuff. So yeah, so it's a colonial city. You're going to see like Portuguese architecture over there. It's people predominantly of African descent,
mm,
um, and the music's good. The whole thing's good. It's also another spot for the carnival. So Rio, Salvador, and one other place called Olinda. Those
mm.
are the three spots for checking out the carnival. But even if you're there not for carnival times, you can have a good time in Salvador.
Mm. So how many days do you spend there?
So the first day you arrive in
Mm,
Salvador, right? We give you a little tour depending on what time you arrive. The second day is when you make a boat day trip from Salvador to Morro de San Paulo. Um, that place, it's interesting. There's not a lot of big attractions, and when you get there, you don't care because the place is just got a vibe to it. It's one of
mm.
those places. There's some others that I can mention too, but there's some places that if you just look on a photo, you just say, okay, I don't. Okay, why am I going there? And then you go there, you're like, oh wow. So it's just there's no cars and all that. So everybody's there. It's all foot traffic.
Uh,
Everybody's just in a good mood. Everybody wants to talk to each other. Drinks, music, hangout spots. It's just all your problems are gone until you come back home, and then they all come back. Um,
that's the way it always is.
back to reality.
Mm,
Um, but yeah, that's basically a good day trip to make.
mm,
Or of course, if you got the extra time, instead of making that day trip, you can sleep in Morro de Sao Paulo and check out the nightlife and all this kind of stuff, rather than just
mm.
doing that day trip from boat from Salvador. That's just going to depend on how much time you have, because already the North Brazil tour, it's 13 days. So you
Right,
know when we start stretching it, who has 14, 15, 16 days kind of thing.
right.
The only thing we let people know about that day trip is the water's a little bit choppy. So um,
Mm,
there's a fast way to get there, but if you have like seasickness, we tell people not to do it. There's a
mm.
longer way to do it that requires more transfers, but you won't vomit. So it's up to you. Okay.
Yeah. I've been in pretty bad waters. Actually, probably it was off of Argentina. So it's where the convergence of the seas are, the Drake Passage. I don't know, going over to Antarctica. It is not for the weak-hearted. It is not for everybody. So, if you do have motion sickness, there are pills you can take. There's the bracelet, the patch, prescriptions. So there are options, but I actually never get seasick. I don't think I've ever been seasick ever. Yeah.
We're both lucky in that regard. I mean, I've had my
Yeah.
health problems. You've had yours,
Yeah.
but seasickness is just something I never really had to deal with that one. But yeah, so from Salvador, then you basically check out the city itself, and then after that, you basically take a flight to Recife, from Salvador to Recife. And again, if somebody does a tour, however they're doing it, you and I, we provide all the exact flights, so they don't have to figure out the flights that they're going to need. We
Right.
do all that stuff internally, but they would be flying on that third day from Salvador to Recife. We pick you up at the airport, and we take you straight down to Porto de Galinhas. And if I ever had the opportunity to move to Brazil, that's where I would move to, Porto de Galinhas. That place is just cool. I guess it's a resort, but it's a long stretch. It's a long stretch with a bunch of cool things to see in that whole area. Beautiful water, and the tides go very low, so you can see coral like right in your face. It's really, the contrast is really pretty. And then they've got these special boats that you go out on, that you stand on. These
Oh,
little, yeah. And then basically you could see the coral just right there because the tides are very low. And then there's times where if you go at the right hour, you're going to see the beach split. So you're going to see the two sides of the beach, and then you're literally walking between water type of thing.
I love that.
Yeah, I thought you would, Lainey. I was
Totally has me
thinking,
written all over it.
I thought you would. I thought you'd think that would suck, but thanks for clarifying.
Just think of the movie I could make from that. Great movie.
So that one is a really good place to go. You're going to see these like multicolored sandbars. And there's another place that they put the church right on the beach. Like it's just right on the beach. It's kind of like, wow, of all places to play. It's like on the sand type of thing. And it's the other place that's very popular for snorkeling, because we had talked about places for that.
Right.
That area right there is good. So very south, Costa Verde. The other one near Porto de Galinhas, which is more of the center of the country.
All right. So where do we go from there?
We've moved there. We're not going anywhere.
Oh,
But yeah, the natural pools there, because they got that low tide. The natural pools really are something cool to see. But you're not leaving just yet, because you still want to do that sailing to those natural pools, right? When the tides are low, typically you do that in the morning. And the other one is the buggy riding.
oh, dune buggies.
Yeah, you take the dune buggy and you go on this beautiful scenic drive. I loved it. Oh God, I loved it. And it's fun, and you're seeing such beautiful landscape when you're going down this whole area over here. So, and just know that Porto de Galinhas, it was voted the best Brazilian beach by Voyage and Tourism magazine. So,
Wow.
it's a good one.
And you don't hear this from other people. So when you're looking for a Brazilian tour, a lot of the tour companies just stick to the big cities. They stick to highlights that people know about. I mean, that's one of the things I love about Charlie's tours is he really gets in deep. He understands all the really cool places in the entire country, and he makes sure that we can get there. And we, of course, help with all the logistics to make sure it happens. And it's not so easy for you to do by yourself. So please, really don't try to do it by yourself. It's the value of using Charlie and my help is that we get it done for you in a way that is extremely affordable. Did you want to talk about the prices? I know we're getting close. We have 15 minutes left.
Well, yeah, guys. So I am the guinea pig. I am the experiment. So I mean, I've been there 5 times already, and I've made the mistakes and all that kind of stuff. So I go back and do more research and development and get this thing down right. I'll just I'll try to wrap this up with
Okay.
with the itinerary. But from Puerto de Galinas, before you leave out of Recife again, we take you to a place called Olinda, and it's another colonial town. It's very popular for carnival. The thing that I like over there is there's these guys with guitars, and they'll just see like a man and woman next to each other, and they start singing them these songs, like, and they just take these random words like, you know, your hair is beautiful and blonde, and they make it rhyme. So your hair is blonde, but your man is not appreciating you like he should. You know, they make the whole thing. And they just sit there and they'll, like, you know, make this whole song around you and whoever you bring with you. So it's pretty romantic, to be honest. So you know, just don't go there solo. You'll feel depressed.
Oh.
So after you've left now Recife, you're flying to Fortaleza. We pick you up from there and we take you via 4-hour drive to a place called Jericoacoara. That is one of my favorite spots in all of Brazil. It's a village. It's all foot, no cars. And it's another one of those places where everybody kind of just knows each other real quickly. Music, tight, dancing, the whole thing. It's a good vibe. And on this one, there's a lot of important stuff to see because the following morning you do this buggy tour. And you see a bunch of cool beaches and beach clubs and all this. So what's crazy is you have these natural formations of lagoons and beaches and whatever, and then they make these beach bars. They incorporate it into it. So it's like God with some fashionable lounge, you know, and then you've got these hammocks with a bunch of good-looking people, you know. And
Sounds like Greece.
Yeah, is life getting any better than this? Life getting better than that. And then, you know, you return to Jericoacoara in the evening and you do the, you watch the sunset from this big dune. You walk to the top of the dune. Let me just turn the light real quickly.
Okay. I'll do a quick break while he's doing that. So if you scan the QR code, you can enter to win our quarterly contest for a Norwegian cruise. For 2 and put hashtag Travel Talk Tuesday on your comments on any of the platforms that we are streaming on. We're streaming all over the place. And then you can win a $50 gift certificate towards any Charlie the Traveler tour that is booked through my agency, Lainey Melnick and Associates Dream Vacations out of the Westlake Hills area of Austin, Texas. Okay, go.
So I think today may be the only time I've overwhelmed you, Lainey.
I know. It's like we're almost out of time and we're never going late, almost out of time. But let's finish up your tour.
Yeah, this is kind of a big one here. So from Jericoacoara, one day you kind of do all that. The next day you leave Jericoacoara and you go to a place called Parnaíba, but there's several crazy stops you do along the way. And you need a 4x4 with this. You can't just go with a regular car. So this is when you're going dune bashing. This is when you're sledding down the sand dunes.
Fun.
This is when you go to this place. It almost, there's this one place, I don't know how to describe it. It kind of like Burning Man. They have a place over there with just this crazy artwork and people are hanging upside down and they're just taking these like Instagram style photos and trying to make themselves famous or whatever. But there's just an insane amount of gorgeous stops you're making when leaving Jericoacoara and getting to your final destination that night called Parnaíba. So beaches, lagoons, hanging people, just dune bashing, all of that. So it's a good one.
That's awesome.
And then once you get into Parnaíba, you go on a very scenic boat cruise along a delta. Really, really, really pretty. And And I'm sorry, I know we got it, but I remember there was this
You're
guy,
doing
and I was
good.
just sitting there, and there was this guy, and he was just seeing me because other people were dancing, and this guy was like dancing, and I'm just kind of sitting there.
Definitely.
He looks at me and says, hey, gringo, come over here. Hey, he's like, Viola, gringo, come on. And like, and I was just kind of like, oh, okay. So I dance, and he's like, no. And then he like goes and he kind of like puts me real tight with this like girl. And then he's like, no, let me show you. And then he goes and he kind of shows me how to dance and all, you know. But those people, the Brazilians, they know how to have fun more than almost anybody I know. I think the only ones I think that I would say Brazilians, Argentinians, Greeks, and Italians, and surprisingly Thai people. Those five can party harder than anybody.
And Americans, come on.
Well, we after a while stop. They don't. Like there's just like a 24-hour thing. At some point our bodies give up. They just keep on going. Anyways,
It's genetic.
that kind of stuff, and just once you get into that part of Brazil, the landscape's very different because now this is when you're in all these like sand dunes and lagoons. The landscape's very different over there. So that for me is, don't worry. That's one of the prettiest parts of the country for me. That's when you're now getting into Lençóis Maranhenses National Park. You take a flight seeing tour over it, and there's like these oases. So these pits of sand dunes with water inside. And when you see it from above, it's one of the prettiest things you could ever see from an airplane. It's one of the prettiest things that you could ever see. And
how many days do we have left?
No. Well, anyway, just go to Brazil. That's the point.
Well, Ray, what day were you on out of the tour?
I'll just wrap it up and say this. Along with those oases, you see it by 4x4. We also show it to you by boat. After that, we take you into Manaus, which is the gateway to the Amazon. Once you get to the Amazon, there's a couple of different eco lodges that we use. One is simple. It's good, and it'll show you all the stuff. The other one's very lavish. It's a bit expensive. I stayed at that one. It's one of the best eco lodges. It is the best eco lodge I've ever seen anywhere on the planet. Gourmet food, gourmet everything. I mean, they'll even wash your clothes and everything over there. And you'll see, you'll meet some cool people over there, very, very catered and luxury oriented. And then from there, from Manaus, you're going to fly back to the south, either Rio de Janeiro or Sao Paulo, and then you basically leave and you go home.